one and all to a premium versus series. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., joined by my indomitable broadcast partner in inebriation, the one, the only,
Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe.
We are getting into something very interesting, folks. Premium Mezcal, as you've seen us review the excellent Del Maguey, I suspect probably one of the better Mezcals on God's green earth. Probably the best.
All right.
Versus Patron Estate Release. So it's pretty easy to keep track. The Glencairn glass is Mezcal. The Copita nosing glass is Tequila. And we are going to compare two of the top ends of this spectrum. Patron Estate Release, 100% de agave, and Del Maguey Mezcal, 100% Tobala agave. And now, interesting fact. Okay. It is claimed that it is impossible to get a hangover when you drink 100% de agave. It's all the other things that give you the hangover. Now, this is what's claimed. Now, if you've ever had a horrible hangover from, like, say, Jose Cuervo, that is not 100% de agave, and that is probably going to be responsible for some of the worst hangovers you've ever had.
What?
These two, on the other hand, 100% de agave. So let's compare, if we will. Let's start off with the familiar tequila. Everybody knows a little bit about tequila. Less people know about mezcal. So let's start off with the nose on tequila.
For being such a high quality, top shelf tequila, it does boast a very familiar tequila smell, and there's not a ton else there. There is a sweetness on the nose, and there's a lingering spice.
When I drink this, I get agave nectar. Yeah. As you probably remember from our review of this, this is just like distilled agave nectar is what this tastes like.
It's sweet herbal mint. It's very, very smooth. It finishes very clean. There's no bite there. That's just a lovely tequila.
Yeah. If there's anybody in the audience that prefers agave nectar as your sweetener, this is going to be a really tough bottle to put down, because it's just, like I said, imagine just distilled agave nectar, and this is what it is. So really, really good stuff. And as of right now, the top tequila of K.O.E. Nation. Now, let's compare that nose to Del Maguey Mezcal.
Oh,
just a lot
world's
thicker.
Difference, yeah.
Now,
it's just
apparently mezcal. They apparently bake the agave underground. They like dig a pit, throw hot coals in it, bury it.
So that explains a bit of the mustiness.
Yes. There's a and also something that not a lot of people know. All tequila is mezcal, but not all mezcal is tequila, because mezcal is the catch-all term for all distilled products of agave. But tequila is a very specific process of distilling agave. So that's what I mean when all tequila is mezcal, but not all mezcal is tequila, because mezcal is it's kind of like the difference between bourbon and whiskey. You know, like they're two different things, but like not all whiskey is bourbon, but all bourbon is whiskey. Yeah. So that's the best way of thinking of it.
Okay, well, yeah, this nose, now that I've got
complicated.
Now that I've got that word musty in my head, that's the only thing I can think.
And yeah, there's like a soil aspect to it, like
100%. You can tell that the earth was involved in creating this elixir. It's very powerful on the nose.
And yeah, there's plant chlorophyll and just a minty smokiness.
Yeah, that finish is just so. Scotch drinkers would call this peaty.
It ain't quite peaty.
It's
like,
not. It's not peaty,
it's
but
not
it's familiar.
peaty like a Lagavulin 16 or something like
Yeah.
that. It's going to be a little different from what you're used to, but
Yeah.
if you love peaty scotches, you are going to adore this. Like this is the mezcal for you. If you're one of those guys that likes scotches from the Isles, if you like the medicinal smoky scotches like Lagavulin 16,
Yeah.
K.O.E, you would really, this would be the mezcal
This
for
would
you.
be 100%. There's so much to unfold here, and once you actually like rattled off and read through the list of notes and expressions represented here, I think you could get deep into it. It's a unique thing, and it's complex. It's not an everyday one.
This
That's
one,
for
when
sure.
you go back to it after the mezcal, like put a nose of the mezcal up first, then come back to this and see if you don't smell aloe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, see what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that, like you get like an aloe
definitely.
out of this. This,
Yes.
like it. The image that comes to my mind is just immediately like an agave and a vine. You know, like I
Yeah.
don't know how else to, like, just green leaf, green life.
A greenhouse.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So
This just it feels earthy. It feels just plant based, botanicals. It's very complex. Whereas it smells
yeah,
very inviting comparatively. It smells like tequila, but goodness, going back and forth, hitting that in its botanical rich nose, and then going that it doesn't even smell the same as it does on its own.
Hard to believe that these two come from the same plant species. Granted, two different subsets, but they're both from agave. One's just from a very rare mountain agave and baked into the soil.
Yeah, the mezcal smells the same through and through, no matter what. But going back and forth now, this almost smells not even familiar as it did when we smelled it on its own.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is gonna be a terrible nosing expression, but I'm getting a cleanliness type smell from this now, almost like a whatever the nosings they are, whatever the scents are that they put in like a baby wipe.
Okay.
I know it's very specific, but when you
I'm getting that now that you've mentioned it.
yeah, when you go back and forth, you get that.
Can you tell baby wipes is a big part of his life?
Yeah, I smell a lot of those. You definitely, it's undeniable now. Whatever that cleanly nose is that they put into the scent of baby wipes, you get that here when you go back and forth. I think it improves the scent of the tequila. Honestly, this stays the same. The mezcal remains the same.
I wonder if you were to leave this in a glass alone for 45 minutes and come back to it, if it would open up, change, or if I suspect it would be exactly as intense as it was when you put it down.
I don't think this is going to change a lot. I think this is as it is. The tequila, maybe. Not a lot, though.
Yeah.
They both still do remain about the same on the palate, though, regardless of how you go back and forth.
I'm just curious. I'm asking you to really rack your mind here.
Okay.
And I'm racking my mind here. This
All right.
mezcal. Can you think of a cocktail to use it for? Yeah, gotta really rack your brain there, don't you? I guess if you're going to like the mojitos or the Navy grog that have like 15 ingredients, that almost doesn't count. You know what I mean?
Diet Coke, orange, vanilla. I'm totally kidding.
Jesus, wow,
Totally kidding.
wow.
No, this would take if you were going to cocktail something as complex as this, you would have to get into blending different kinds of fruit and plant-based mixers. You definitely have to garnish it with
I was about to say
a leaf of some
you're
sort.
like shaving off fresh
Yeah,
ginger and
that's what I'm
crushing
saying.
allspice. You're getting deep.
This
You're
would
getting
this would be a Top Chef style cocktail if you're going to do that. And I'm sure there's a way to do it, and I'm sure it'd be marvelous.
I
But
just can't think of one.
nothing stands out to me.
Not that I would do, anyways.
No, I think it is as it is, and I don't think you should really bother trying to go past neat.
It's so rare because, like I said in the review, this Tobala Mezcal, Tobala Agave can only be found in certain shady spots at high altitude at relatively low temperatures. So it's very hard. So it's just so rare. And this is just this village has been making Mezcal this way for who knows how long. Like before there was written records, probably. So it is an interesting view into the past, and also the Dell Maguey Corporation prides everything on being totally sustainable and everything you're giving back to the community. It's a good story to go with it. The Patron estate release tequila. This is just ascendant craftsmanship from a top level manufacturer, because this is a distiller that can produce at an industrial scale. These are producers that this is an entire village's efforts put into this bottle. So it's almost not like it is, but isn't fair to compare them, because you know what I mean? Because this is a top end tequila, this is a top end
mezcal. The processes are completely different, though. I agree.
The end product, like, again, if think about it, I mean, single malt barley or corn. Think of all the different whiskey expressions we've gotten out of those two grains. This is much the same. These are two different ways of arriving at distillation. This mezcal is much more ancient, which does interest me a bit. This tequila, though, is ascendant. So, Tony, we're here in a Versus series, and we're here to decide for the K.O.E. Nation, what is the De Agave of Extreme. So, if you were to have to pick up one of these two bottles, your money, hard-earned dollars, is going to have to go to one of these two bottles. This one, 110 USD. This one, 86 USD. Which one would you personally opt for if you had to pick one up?
I
know, suspense, folks. It's two different experiences.
I would 100% pick that.
You know what? I hate to agree, but this is marvelous.
It is.
Like I said, agave nectar distilled, put into a bottle, and given to you. This would be the one. So tequila is the winner. Now, if you're judging by sales of mezcal versus tequila worldwide,
not fair.
We're not the only people to come to that conclusion.
Yeah, no.
That tequila's awesome. Now, mezcal, you're great. We love you, mezcal. We've got so much more to discover about you. But this is so high-end, so complex, that it's really for seasoned folks like Tony and I who have developed our palates. This is not an introductory bottle. No. This is not for the faint of heart.
This is advanced. I'm glad this isn't something we just happened across and dove into, because we would have been completely turned off by it as an introductory spirit. It's just not even in the same wheelhouse. Whereas this is a lot more familiar, but you have to have a good familiarity with lower end tequilas to truly appreciate how well this has been distilled and blended and put together, and it's very nice, so smooth.
Yeah, I don't know how long estate release is going to be a thing, but as long as it is, I'm going to try and keep a bottle of this on my shelf. This, I have a feeling we've got a lot more explorations to do with it, and we'll do a second take, and I'm going to look up, see if there's any possibilities of any cocktails that can be done with this.
I would be interested.
And this is also one, because it's so interesting, I'm going to have other cast members of the K.O.E. Nation give their reviews of this one. So, oh, marvelous tequila, marvelous mezcal. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Got to know how the
You
blend
knew that
is.
was happening.
Yep. So, tell us how the... Wait till the oxygen hits your mouth.
You know what?
Oh, no.
It's actually pretty good.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, it actually is. I hate to say, but that actually pairs nicely together.
I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. It kind of fills in the gaps for each other, doesn't it?
Yeah, there is a definite bite in the middle of your tongue, because that's a lot of alcohol.
What this one lacks, the other fills the void. It kind of it goes here. You know, if you're going to go a margarita route, you could
1 ounce this,
yeah,
1 ounce of this,
half and
2
half.
ounces of this.
Yep. I think
we're gonna have to do that.
I think that's a must. I think that's an absolute try. I think that would actually be very good.
Well, our resident blend master, Tony G, coming up with another amazing blend, folks. So, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, this has been our versus of premium tequila versus premium mezcal. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner in blending and inebriation, the one, the only,
Tony G. Thanks for stopping by.